Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Let us continue.
とにかくお前たちは身の安全を最優先にしろ。ゲストハウスを戸締まりするんだ。しかし過信はできない。1階のラウンジの大窓は破られるかもしれない。その部屋にとどまりベッドを立てかけてバリケードにするんだ。その部屋にはトイレも冷蔵庫もあるな。明日の朝までは籠城できるはずだ。いいな。くれぐれも物騒なことは考えるな。母さんの敵を取ろうなんて絶対に考えるんじゃないぞ。相手を刺激せず隠れてやり過ごすことだけを考えるんだ。
分かったよ、父さん。
After that, Goda took the phone and was firmly told to supervise the kids as well. Well, as an adult. Goda, with his face covered in a cold sweat, repeatedly replied, yes sir, in an excessively tense voice. From there, Kyrie took the speaker and spoke with Battler. When Shannon and Cannon got their turns, George and Jessica answered. Following that pattern, Nanjo and Kumasawa picked up as well, so that all members of both sides took the receiver in turn, confirming that everyone was safe for now, even if their location was unknown, and encouraging each other, coming to an understanding of the current situation for both sides. They wanted to talk forever, but now was not the time to chat. Kraus explained that they would be hanging up for now, and those in the guest house consented.
すぐに受話器を取れるように待機していてくれ。くれぐれも用心してな。無茶なことは絶対にするんじゃないぞ。
分かったよ。
I wonder what having the group split will do for the mystery.
父さんやカノン君たちが無事だっただけでも儲けもんってやつさ。
With the phone as the only means of communication.
私たちも頑張る。父さんたちもどうか無事で。
ああ、もちろんだ。それでは一度切る。用心しろ。
With that, the phone call ended. Gordon and the rest of the men quickly descended to the first floor, closed the shutters, and secured the sturdy locks on the doors. However, just as Kraus had worried, there was nothing that could be done about the beautiful wide window in the first floor lounge. If someone broke that, it would be easy to get inside. Wouldn't be hard for someone like Kinzo, who hadn't hesitated in committing murder, to invade the first floor.
おじいさまたちは武装している可能性が高い。部屋に閉じこもるのが最善かつ唯一の籠城方法になるね。自ら密室に閉じこもらざるを得ないのは苦しいところだけど、相手が銃を持っていたらそれしか方法がない。
親方様は実銃のコレクションをお持ちとの話です。そう、あれは銃だ。銃だったんだ。
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
だとしたら恐ろしい威力の銃だ。とても太刀打ちはできません。
A gun with bouncy ball explosives.
頭を砕くなんてすげえ威力だぜ。マグナム弾とかそういう類のやつかもな。下手な扉なら平気で貫通するかもしれねえな。
だとすればますますに部屋に籠城するべきだね。ベッドを立てかけて窓も塞ごう。そこまですればいくら銃を持っていても踏み込むことはできないはず。
Wow.
くそ、 そんな受け身な防戦一方しかねえのかよ。ちくしょう。うちの親父に上等を決めてくれて、桐江さんまで捕まえたなんて、こいつは高くつくぞ。くそ。
無理です。あんな連中に太刀打ちできるわけがありません。しかも親方様だけでなく手下も何人も。あるいはあんな連中がもっといるかも。あいつらは一体何なんだ。
Battle was filled to the brim with the urge to get revenge for Rudolph, and to rush out of here to save Kyrie. But just by looking at how terrified Goda was, there was no doubt in him that this would be reckless.
兄貴だって悔しいだろ。なのにここで籠城なんて。ちくしょ
う。もちろんさ、僕だって悔しいよ。両親を殺されて冷静でいられるわけがない。
True.
でもだからこそ冷静にならなくちゃいけない。僕たちが無駄に命を落とすようなことを殺された親たちが望むと思うかい？
I put it as unlikely.
思うわけがない。せめて子供だけは逃げ延びてほしいと願ってるはずだ。だから僕は生き残るよ。そして警察に通報し全てを暴く。
I get the feeling he won't survive.
仇は法廷が取る。それが僕の復讐だ。差し違えてでも仇を取ってほしいなんて親たちが望んでいるわけもない。そうだろう。
そうだな。兄貴の言う通りだぜ。ちくしょう、クソじじいめ。何か儀式だ。
Is Maria going to say anything?
俺たちがそのための生贄だって言うなら、意地でも逃げ切ってその儀式を台無しにしてやるぜ。
それでいいよ。それにバトラ君にはまだ桐江さんがいる。僕にだってシャノンがいる。とにかく慎重に行動してチャンスを待とう。僕たちの不用意な行動は囚われの彼らに不利益を与える可能性だってあるんだから。
人質か。でもじい様はきっとキレイさんたちを生贄にするために捕らえたわけだろう。
Yeah, they don't have much value as hostages.
俺たちが助けなきゃ殺されるのを待つだけじゃないのか。
彼らが捕らえられている地下牢がどこにあるかもわからない。シャノンもカノン君も、もちろんゴーダさんも熊沢さんも知らなかった。おじい様だけしか知らない秘密の場所にある可能性が極めて高い。そんな状況下でうろうろと歩き回るのは自殺行為だよ。
分かってるよ。それでもくそ、俺たちはここで何かが起こるまで引きこもってるしかねえってのかよ。
バトラ様のお気持ちは分かりますが、ここは安全第一で参りましょう。旦那様の話では相当古い牢屋らしいので、なんとか鉄格子を破れるかもしれないとのことでした。今は信じて待つ方が賢明です。
おじい様の手下が何人もいて、みんな武装しているんだよね。
ええ、そうです。そして多分みんな武装を。
Goda had been able to say that Kinzo had comrades with him, but he hadn't been able to mention that they were mostly young women, like witches. He had used strange magic to murder. If he had said that, it would only have cast doubt on his sanity. No, not only that, he himself couldn't understand what he had seen, and was doubting his own sanity. But regardless of sex or appearance, regardless of whether or not it was done with a magic or a gun, the fact that those girls had followed Kinzo's orders, and killed 6 people in an instant was an unshakable truth. But it hasn't been said and read. If that group came to attack the guest house as well, what would happen? Just closing the doors and windows like this was surely meaningless. Goda and Kumasawa. The only thing left for those two who had witnessed that massacre in the dining hall was to cradle their heads without knowing how to interpret what they had seen.
熊沢さん大丈夫？
Daijoubo.
お茶飲む？
ありがとうございますね。ありがとうございます。申し訳ございませんが、しばらくそっとしていただけますか。
Maria tried to be nice, but it seemed that Kumasawa still hadn't been able to clear away her confusion.
マリア、気を使ってくれてありがとうだぜ。熊沢さんは休ませてやってくれ。
Jessica was also worried about the shock those two must have received after witnessing such tragedy. But her wildest dreams couldn't even come close to the unbelievable scene Kumasawa had witnessed. Nevertheless, with her mother murdered and her father captured, it wasn't as though Jessica could stay calm either. She sealed her anxiety and sadness using her anger towards Kinzo, and walked irritatedly around the room.
熊沢さん、母さんは本当に死んじゃったの？
ええ。あんなひどい死に方を私は見たことがありませんとも。
ひょっとするとまだ生きてて手当てをすれば助かるなんてことはないんだよな。
Bit hard when you're missing a head.
頭があんなことになって生きていられるわけがありません。
そりゃそうだぜ。頭が砕けちまったら手当てなんて必要ねえよな。普通。
Goda had come flying into the guest house. He had, overcome with agitation, told about the massacre in the dining hall without concealing anything. Well, except from who did the murdering. Except for the parts about witches and magic, which they themselves still couldn't believe. In other words, he hadn't even sugarcoated the cold-blooded way in which Natsuhi and the others had died. It was too late now, but Kumasawa regretted the fact that they'd obviously said too much. However, while lightly shaking her head and with a slightly painful laugh, Jessica spoke.
いや、むしろ話してくれたおかげで冷静になれたぜ。頭を砕かれちまったってところを伏せられてたら、
She might have gone rushing out to try to save her.
私はひょっとすると生きてるかもしれないって言って、屋敷へ向かいじいさまに出くわして、ひょっとすると殺されてたかもしれない。一抹の希望が命取りになった可能性だってあるわけさ。その意味では感謝してるよ。
本当に申し訳ございません。言葉をあまりに選ばなかったことはお詫びします。
今はいいよ。母さんはもうどうしようもないけど、父さんはまだ生きてる。カノン君もシャノンもキリエおばさんも南條先生もね。なんとか彼らを助けたいし、彼らに負担をかけないためにも余計なことをするべきではない。電話の前で待機してることが今は一番の協力になるかもしれないし。
So it seems that they didn't end up asking about the time on the phone. They might receive a phone call asking them to create a diversion while the others escaped. I doubt it. Or the others might discover their location and call for rescue. Jessica understood that in order to act promptly when that time came, the only thing they could do for the time being was to wait in this room. I thought that was someone trying to open their door. No, once they had finished inspecting the downstairs area and locking up, George, Battler, and Gerda returned. Each was holding various objects. George had things like drinks, canned food, crackers, and other types of snacks he had found in the lounge and storage area, room, as well as a first aid kit. They're all consumables that would be essential during a siege. Gerda had a large folding ladder and carpentry tools. Those were to seal the door from the inside, just in case. If it came to it, the ladder was for escaping out the window. Battler had brought up objects that could be used as edged weapons or poles. In addition to the obvious kitchen knife, there was a disassembled table leg that could be used as a club, and a pole roughly the size of a person, which he'd apparently made by taking apart a hat stand. Even though the pole had no point, it could surely be used like a spear. There was a good chance that their enemies had guns, so it was dubious whether these would be of any use. But it was still better than not having them, and if having these could give them at least a little peace of mind, then they'd be useful for their calming effect. Then, the bed and sofa were placed up against the door, barricading it. They didn't go so far as to seal it up with nails. There was still a chance that Kraus and the others would escape and come meet up with them. They'd apparently set up a barricade at the top of the stairs as well. It had been set up in a way that would create a racket, so it would serve as a warning alarm as well. That had apparently been Battler's idea. For that reason, they turned the TV off. This way, if the first floor window were to be broken, they would hear. Once the switch had been turned, all that was left was eerie silence. The sound of violent wind and rain. Were they going to have to spend the whole night being crushed by such suspense? The boat would come tomorrow morning. However, judging by the weather report, most of tomorrow was going to be covered in the typhoon, and the boat probably wouldn't come. The typhoon was set to pass by in the morning of the day after tomorrow. In other words, the boat would be arriving in the morning after next, the morning of October 6th. This is also the earliest that we've had of First Twilight. I'm pretty sure it's always happened after midnight in previous games. And right now, it was late at night on October 4th. They would have to spend more than 30 hours on this island, with Kinzo turned cold-blooded murderer and his weird companions prowling about. It's the most dangerous game. Even with the shutters closed, there would definitely be a little bit of light seeping out. It might let the enemy know that they were hiding here. Battler suggested that it might be best to turn off the lights. They had already been overwhelmed by a ghastly feeling just from turning the TV off. There wasn't anyone who directly challenged his proposal, but then again, there wasn't a single other person who agreed with it.
おお、テレビダメなの？
ああ、悪いが我慢してくれ。敵の侵入の音を聞き逃すわけにはいかない。
つまんない。
Even though she had been told of her mother's death, Maria alone didn't feel an approaching sense of danger. She just seemed to be upset that the TV had been turned off. Even though she's in such a bizarre situation, can she not share in our sense of danger? Nope. Is it because she's so young? Nope. It's because it's Maria. It's battler, even this faintly unsettling feeling from such a young girl made him sense that there was something very eerie about Maria.
とは言ったものの、万策尽きたわね。鉄格子は何とかなりそう？
残念だが想像以上に堅牢だ。いつ頃に作られたものか知らんが、耐用年数も文句なし。実に優良な物件だよ。
I wonder who the intended occupants were supposed to be. Oh, maybe it's for furniture, like Shannon Cannon kind of furniture. Kyria chuckled softly. They had no moves they could make, but she calmed just a little.
さながらここは取られた駒を置く駒置き場ですな。打つ手はもはやありませんか。
Who knows, maybe someone will promote a pawn.
まだよ。諦めるには早いわ。思考の停止は鼓動の停止に同じよ。
だな。チェスの駒置き場に意味はないが、将棋ならば大きな意味を持つこともある。駒置き場の一枚の歩が相手にプレッシャーを与えることだってあるはずだ。
なるほど。しかしこの鉄格子はどうしようも。
私たちにはね。でもここの場所を特定し、郷田さんに連絡することができれば、助けに来てもらうことはできるかも。
なるほど。しかし郷田さんに危険を強いることになりますな。
Well, that's just a risk I'm willing to take.
その場合、成人男性が不在になるゲストハウスのお子さんたちも不安です。
リスクを恐れるなら、事態が好転するまで塩漬けにするのも悪くない。もっとも、損切りを恐れれば、紙切れ同然になるかもしれんがね。我々の命がだが。
親の子犬もね。私たちで何とかするからおとなしくしていなさいって偉そうに電話して、その下の根も乾かないうちに助けを求めるなんて。実に格好悪いわね。
この後に及んでは、くだらんプライドなどとっくに紙切れだ。知恵を絞ろうじゃないか。ここはどこなんだ。本当に食堂の真下なのだろうか。それとも屋敷とは異なる別の場所だろうか。
Kraus, Kyrie, and Nanjo began to discuss this further. Cannon was squatting by the bars, silently trying to sense anyone's presence. Just as he'd been ordered. Cannon came close to him, and they both squatted down together.
気配は感じるの？
こちらに意識は向けていないけれど、比較的近くに誰かいる。
それは人間？
ヤギたちだと思う。あいつらの吐息は実に賑やかだよ。
Cannon's ability to sense the others was several levels above that of a human. He said that their breathing was noisy, but Kraus and the rest couldn't even pick up the slightest hint of it. Therefore, if he had obediently reported it, they would have merely doubted Cannon's ears.
捕まっちゃったね。
珍しいよ。殺されないで捕まるなんて。
今回はベアトリーチェ様がお越しにならないし。
This time? Interesting. What do you mean by this time?
親方様が書斎を出られるし、
Hello?
何が何だかわかんないね。
Interesting. So, they appear to be aware of the other games. Is this perhaps, manipulations of one of the witches in the game?
わかるさ。何が起ころうと変わろうと、すべてあの魔女の気まぐれと余興。
Is this perhaps... thinking back, like, the differences between, like, episode 1 and episode 2. Episode 1, Shannon, like, after George confesses, Shannon leaves and then puts on the ring. Episode 2, I'm pretty sure she puts the ring on the spot. Is that because she knew, or maybe she thought she was about to die because of the first Twilight? I wonder.
結果は何も変わらないのさ。
今回は黄金鏡に行けるかな。
さあね。僕たちは脱落率が高いから。
そういえば、二人で第一の番を生き延びたのって、ずいぶん珍しいね。儀式が始まってるのに、こうして二人でお話できるなんて、なんだかすごく珍しい気がする。
そうかもね。でも、それもまた魔女の余興だろうさ。
Or is it because of their furniture that they're aware?
僕たちがいつもすぐに脱落するから、今度は少し生き延びさせて、からかってやろうくらいにしか思ってないよ。
また、黄金鏡にはたどり着けないのかな。
どうせそうさ。下手な期待を持つと、またつけ込まれる。
そうだね。前回はカノン君がつけ込まれたもんね。
僕はバカだ。
Cannon made a sour look and turned his head. If they're aware, I wonder if they're aware about Battler's game as well. Cannon made a sour look and turned his head. Shannon laughed softly and apologetically leaned towards his shoulder.
でも、お嬢様が無事でよかったね。
第一の番を逃れただけさ。それ以降の番に、より無残な方法で殺されるのを待たされているだけかもしれない。それを言ったら姉さんこそ、ジョージ様が無事でよかったじゃないか。二人で黄金鏡にたどり着けるといいね。
ありがとう。同じことをカノン君とお嬢様にも。
僕は期待はしてないよ。
With his face like that.
姉さんの言う通りだ。あの魔女はご褒美をぶら下げて相手が右往左往するのを見て楽しんでるだけなんだ。どうせ誰も黄金鏡に行けやしない。僕がお嬢様と黄金鏡にたどり着きたいと願ってしまったなら、あいつはそれこそ面白がって絶対に僕たちをたどり着かせたりはしないさ。
そうだね。ベアトリーチェ様はより面白くなるように生贄の順番を考えてる。
無作為に選んでるなんて大嘘だ。
I have mentioned how it's impossible for it to be truly random in order for it to still meet all the requirements.
あのペテン師魔女め。どうせ黄金鏡にたどり着けばあらゆる願いが叶うなんてのも嘘っぱちに決まってる。
Maybe it does grant any wish, but it twists the meaning into something that you don't like a monkey's paw.
そんなことはないよ。黄金鏡は素晴らしいところだよ。
行ったことあるの？
ちょっぴりだけね。それすらも ベアトリーチェ様の戯れだったのだろうけど。
どんなとこなのそこ。
うん。素晴らしいところだよ。うまく説明できない。安らかな、夢の中みたいな世界。
And on that note, I think I'll be ending it there for today. I wonder what's going on here. In case, I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, see ya.